show is all about you. This is why this show is so unique, because we are going to learn about you. Last week we had a quote of the week, and that quote of the week was, "Let go and let it flow." I got some emails regarding that. Our guest, Rourke Critchlow, gave us his interpretation of let go and let it flow. It was very exciting. And again, I would like to thank Rourke for coming on and sharing all of his experiences with us. Today, we have a very exciting show because we are going to learn about what your control dramas are. And when you take a look at this, you're going to be really surprised at what you find out. So it's really good. At the end of last week's show, I gave you a quote, and I asked you to email me and tell me what your interpretation of that quote was. That quote was, "Observation is the key to transformation." So I received emails, lots of emails, thank you very much, what that meant to you. Observation is the key to transformation. I'm going to read a couple of those emails, and then I'm going to talk to you about some key points for you to really look at in order to observe your own behavior so that you can transform. Our first email came from Rose in West Virginia, and Rose writes, "Dear Barbara, how do I know what to observe in order to transform? Can you help me find the common denominator? Thank you." Rose from West Virginia. Rose, thank you for writing this, because a lot of people wonder that. A lot of people are wondering, I don't even know what to observe. How can I even transform if I don't even know what to look for? Today, I'm going to help you find the tools to look for exactly what you need to observe. So Rose, thank you for this email. Our second email comes from Robert in Missouri, and Robert writes, "Dear Barbara, I am getting the same feedback from different people, yet I don't see it. Maybe I'm in denial, I don't know. All I do know is what I can look for to help me transform without giving up myself." Thanks, Robert. Robert, I understand that, because a lot of people come and say to me, this person is telling me that, and this person is telling me that, and everyone is telling me the same thing, but I just don't see it. I don't get it. Sometimes what we have to do, Robert, is we need to stand back. We need to stand back and detach from our behavior and look at it from a detached point of view to say, now wait a minute, is this serving me or is this not serving me? How do I want to keep the good behavior, and how do I want to get rid of the unwanted behavior? Well, this is what I'm really excited about to show you today. And I'm going to give you these tools, and I'm going to encourage you this week in your life for you to go and find out what your control drama is. Now, how I found out about control dramas were back in the 90s. And there was a book called The Celestine Prophecy, and I'm sure most of you read it, by James Redfield. And it was wonderful. It was one of those books that changed my life. And I'm going to give you my interpretation of these control dramas. The first control drama is called the intimidator. The intimidator is almost somewhat like a bully. They try to scare you. They intimidate you. They sit there and try to manipulate you so they can get their way. That is the intimidator. Now, the reason why we have these control dramas is we learned them from our parents. So after I show you the 4 control dramas, you're going to go back and you're going to look at your parents' behavior, and you're going to say, now, which one of these control dramas were my parents? And you mimicked exactly what their behavior was, or you did the exact opposite. And guess what? You most likely married your exact opposite, because that's how control dramas work. They feed off of one another. So, like I said, the first one is the intimidator. Now, what would the dance go with the intimidator? The next drama for that is called the victim. The victim and the intimidator are the perfect dance for one another. The victim is, woe is me. Everybody found a parking spot except me. I had to park a mile away, and because I had to walk so far, my shoe broke. And when my shoe broke, I lost the tickets and I wasn't able to get into the event, so I had to wait outside. The victim. That's their power. That's their control drama. And most of the time, the intimidator and the victim end up as a pair. Now, mind you, out of these 4 control dramas, there's one that is dominant in our life. That doesn't mean that we don't go and dabble in a few here and there, but there's one dominant one, and you will hopefully notice which one yours is. And then you're going to say, but Barbara, why do we need a control drama? What is that all about? This is what that's all about. A control drama is grabbing energy from someone else and pulling it into themselves. It's filling up their own vase, because most people don't realize that what you do need to do is get your power from the universe. Allow the universe to fill you up, not having to get it from outside sources. But we were taught that way, and we were taught that way on an unconscious level. So I am here to get you to observe, because observation is the key to transformation. Okay, so far we've learned about the intimidator. We've learned about the victim. Now we're going to go on to the interrogator. The interrogator always wants to make you wrong and make themselves right. For example, if your spouse gets off work at 5 and it takes them a half hour to get home, so they should be home at 5:30 and they get home at 6, you would say, well, geez, it's 6 o'clock. How come you're not home yet? You were supposed to be home at 5:30. And then the spouse said, well, by the time I got gas, it took me some time. Well, gas is only 10 minutes. So you should have been home at 5:40. How come you're home at 6 o'clock? That's the interrogator. The interrogator is going to try to pull out information from that primary relationship. And that's where they're getting their power. Now, the dance that goes with the interrogator is called the aloof. The aloof, you're not quite sure what they're thinking. You're not exactly sure what's going on in their mind. And the aloof person gets their power because they're pulling the people toward them so those people can pull the information out of them. And the more they don't give the information, the more the other person comes toward them. And guess what happens? They have their dance. The interrogator has the dance with the aloof. Most of the time, an interrogator and an aloof will marry one another. Most of the time, the intimidator and the victim will marry one another. So this is what I implore you to do this week. Observe. Again, observation is the key to transformation. Observe what your control drama is. Why is it that you are using that control drama to fill yourself up? Picture this big, beautiful vase that's yours, and it's filled with water with these beautiful flowers in it, but yet your vase has a crack on the bottom. So your water starts draining out, and you realize you're getting low. So guess what? You use your control drama to get water, energy, from another person to fill up your vase. Instead of just getting the energy, water, so to speak, from the universe to fill your own vase up so you don't need to go out there to use these control dramas.
Make it better. Have faith to be what you want.